Imagine a sun-kissed village in Delta State, Nigeria, where the Niger River whispers secrets to the palm trees, and young dreams bloom like hibiscus flowers under the relentless African sun. It was here, on May 25, 1995, that Sonia Uche entered the world, the eldest daughter in a family woven from the threads of resilience and quiet ambition. Born in Ebusa, a quaint town in Oshimili North, Sonia's childhood was a tapestry of simplicity, running barefoot through dusty paths, helping her mother in the kitchen where the aroma of egusi soup mingled with tales of far-off cities. Her father, a stern yet loving civil servant, instilled in her the value of education, while her siblings, 2 brothers and a sister, formed her first audience for impromptu skits that mimicked the soap operas flickering on their old black and white TV. Little did they know, this playful girl with eyes like polished onyx and a smile that could disarm a lion was destined for the silver screen. Sonia's early years weren't without shadows. The economic hardships of 90s Nigeria meant scraped knees from odd jobs and dreams deferred by flickering power outages. Yet, it was in this moment of scarcity that her imagination ignited. At Ania Primary School, she dazzled teachers with recitations that turned classrooms into theaters, her voice carrying the weight of unspoken stories. Transitioning to secondary school in Asaba, Sonia's flair for drama caught the eye of a local theater group, where she first tasted the adrenaline of applause. But the real pivot came at the University of Lagos, where she pursued English language and literature, immersing herself in Shakespeare and Soyinka, dissecting words like a surgeon with a scalpel. University life was a whirlwind, late-night study sessions in hostels buzzing with gossip, weekend escapades to Lagos Island's bustling markets, and a budding romance with the stage that made her heart race faster than any boy ever could. By her final year, Sonia had starred in campus plays that drew crowds from as far as Ikeja, her naive ingenue roles earning her whispers of a future star. Graduating in 2017 with a degree that felt like a launchpad, she returned to Asaba not as a wide-eyed girl, but as a woman armed with scripts in her soul and determination in her stride. Nollywood called, and Sonia answered, but little did she know that her path would soon entwine with a man whose charm was as magnetic as a Lagos thunderstorm. This is the dawn of Sonia Uche, not just an actress, but a force of nature ready to conquer hearts on and off screen. As fans would later chant in comment sections, Sonia's story started in the soil, but her glow lit up the stars. And oh, what a glow it became, drawing in collaborators, critics, and one Maurice Sam, whose own tale was brewing in the salty breezes of Akwa Ibom. Fast forward to 2016, when the humid haze of Lagos enveloped Sonia like a lover's embrace, pulling her from the familiar rhythms of Delta into the chaotic symphony of Nigeria's entertainment mecca. Fresh out of university, armed with a portfolio of campus headshots and a heart pounding with audacious hope, Sonia knocked on the doors of production houses, her knock echoing like a drumbeat in an empty hall. Rejection was her first co-star, producers dismissing her as too green, casting directors eyeing her curves with skepticism rather than script in hand. But Sonia, with the tenacity of a yam farmer tilling stubborn earth, persisted. Her breakthrough came in a low-budget flick titled My Boss Daughter, where she played a sassy secretary whose wit sliced through boardroom boredom like a machete through foliage. The role was small, but Sonia infused it with such raw vulnerability, tears that glistened like morning dew, laughter that bubbled like palm wine, that audiences in Alaba markets and online forums buzzed with her name. Who's this fresh face stealing scenes? They'd post on Neroland threads, unaware they were witnessing the birth of a Nollywood darling. By 2018, offers trickled in like rain after Harmattan, Frank's Wife, where she embodied a betrayed spouse with ferocity that had viewers clutching their wrappers in empathy, The Vow, a romantic drama that hinted at the on-screen chemistry she'd later share with Maurice. Off-screen, Sonia's life was a balancing act, hustling for roles by day, waitressing at upscale Six lounges by night, her tips funding head wraps and highlight reels. She built her brand meticulously, Instagram posts of empowering quotes overlaid on sunset selfies, TikToks dancing to Afrobeat hits that amassed thousands of likes, turning followers into a digital family. Yet, beneath the glamour, loneliness lurked, late-night calls to her mother in Asaba, confessing doubts that clawed at her confidence. "Mama, am I chasing shadows?" she'd whisper, only to be met with, "My daughter, stars don't shine without the dark." And shine she did. By 2020, Sonia launched her YouTube channel, Sonia Uche TV, a haven for full-length movies that blended steamy romances with moral twists, racking up millions of views and spawning fan clubs from Port Harcourt to Pretoria. Her style, elegant Ankara gowns on red carpets, unfiltered vlogs revealing her love for jollof rice and journaling endeared her to a generation craving authenticity in a filtered world. But as her star ascended, so did the whispers, rumors of a secret beau, a child on the horizon, and a collaboration that would spark flames hotter than pepper soup. Enter Maurice Sam, the Akwa Ibom charmer whose DJ beats had already pulsed through Lagos clubs. Their worlds were about to collide in a script neither had written, turning professional partners into tabloid tantalizers. Fans, grab your popcorn, this is where the real drama begins. In the coastal embrace of Nsit Ibom, Akwa Ibom State, where the Atlantic Ocean crashes like applause against mangrove shores, Maurice Samuel Oluwaseun entered the world on March 12, 1990. The third of 5 children in a family where faith was the motto holding their mud brick home together, young Maurice was a whirlwind of energy, climbing coconut trees at dawn, mimicking his father's fishing chants with a stick as a microphone. His mother, a trader of smoked fish whose laughter filled their compound like birdsong, saw the performer in him early, enrolling him in church choirs where his voice soared above the tambourines. Education was sacred. Maurice excelled at local schools, his report cards glowing like fireflies, but it was the community festivals, Ekpo masquerades and New Yam celebrations that truly schooled him in showmanship. By secondary school, he was the go-to MC for school events, his charisma disarming even the strictest principals. Dreams pulled him to UYO for university, where he studied mass communication at the University of UYO, diving into radio production and debating clubs that honed his silver tongue. But Lagos beckoned like a siren's call in 2012, and Maurice arrived with a duffel bag of beats and boundless hustle. Starting as a club DJ spinning Afrobeats anthems under neon lights, he remixed tracks that had patrons from Surale to Lekki losing their minds. He set a fusion of high-life nostalgia and futuristic drops. Modeling gigs followed, strutting runways for local designers, his 6-foot frame and chiseled jaw turning heads in Fashion Week spotlights, yet, acting was the spark that lit his fuse. In 2015, a chance audition for the TV series Hustle landed him the role of Acid, a street-smart hustler whose sly grins and moral ambiguities captivated viewers. Acid No My Guy trended on Twitter, propelling Maurice into Nollywood's inner circle. Films like A Place Called Love showcased his romantic depth, while One Heart at a Time revealed a vulnerability that mirrored his off-screen soul. Philanthropy drives for Akwa Ibom orphans, quiet donations to single mothers echoing his own family struggles. Social media amplified his reach, TikToks of dance challenges with fans, Instagram lives dishing career advice laced with humor, building a legion of Samites who shipped him with every leading lady. But beneath the spotlight, Maurice guarded his heart, scarred by a youthful heartbreak that taught him love's double-edged sword. Little did he know, a Delta Rose named Sonia Uche would soon pierce that armor, their onset sparks igniting rumors that would burn brighter than any club strobe. As Maurice once quipped in an interview, life's a remix, you just gotta find the right beat. And Sonia. She was his ultimate groove. Picture this, a sweltering Lagos location in 2019, Dust Devils dancing around a mock village set for the vow, where promises are made and broken like cheap china. Sonia Uche, fresh off a string of supporting roles, steps onto the scene as the wide-eyed bride-to-be, her Ankara rapper hugging curves that directors drool over. Across from her stands Maurice Sam, cast as the brooding groom, his DJ-honed confidence masking the butterflies in his gut. Their eyes locked during the read-through, her sparkling with mischief, his deepening with intrigue, and the chemistry crackles like static before a storm. Cut, yells the director, but the real magic happens in between takes, shared jokes over lukewarm star beers, Maurice teaching Sonia Akwa Ibom slang that has her giggling like a schoolgirl, Sonia schooling him on Delta folklore that leaves him mesmerized. Off-script, they improvise scenes that blur lines, a tender glance lingering too long, a hand on the shoulder sparking whispers among crew. By rap party, the cast is buzzing, those two. Fire. Fans caught wind via blurry behind-the-scenes clips on Instagram, dissecting every frame like FBI analysts. Is that love or just good acting? Comments flooded in, with shippers dubbing them #Sonia Maurice Magic. The movie dropped to rave reviews, their wedding scene going viral for the realness, tears that seemed too genuine, vows that echoed personal pains. Post-release, joint interviews fueled the fire, Maurice praising Sonia's soulful depth, her blushing at his electric presence. But denials came swift, Maurice on a radio show, she's a colleague, nothing more, while Sonia laughed it off in vlogs, Nollywood's full of on-screen husbands. Yet, eagle-eyed fans spotted clues, matching wrist beads at events, cryptic tweets about unexpected vows. As the vow climbed YouTube charts, so did the rumors, turning their professional bond into public obsession. Sonia's channel exploded with fan edits syncing their scenes to Burna Boy tracks, Maurice's lives filling with questions about the one. Little did they know, this was just the prologue to a saga of passion, betrayal whispers, and a tiny heartbeat that would bind them forever. In Nollywood, where fiction mirrors life, Sonia and Maurice's story was writing itself, one stolen smile at a time. Engage below, was it love at first take? Drop your theories. We continue with part 2 of the gist. Kindly tune in, subscribe and enjoy your weekend.